So this is what I call ultra gigabyte connectivity. And of course, I've brought in a lot of technologies around this, but it's really about how to make every, like I was seeing the other day in my house, we have probably 40 different IP addresses, even right now. So think about a world of 7 billion people and trillions of devices connected. So, with 5G and with Internet of Everything that they're calling it now, and of course, we'll come to AR and VR. So there is so much that can be done when connectivity just takes leaps and bounds in terms of performance. We have 5G now. That's the latest introduction. But the next decade, we'll see a huge, I don't know where we land up with what G, but it's the ultra gigabyte connectivity where the world always is increasingly moving to. So until now, we were limited. If you needed to use a high bandwidth application, you needed a laptop, you needed a desktop computer. But with 5G, that's going to change. You'll be able to do that with mobile and with other devices. So with 5G, there's going to be a proliferation of video apps, high definition video apps, and no latency video apps. So there'll be no disturbance when you're chatting with your friends and family. Streaming will be instant. Multiplayer gaming and esports. I mean, for them, the experience will be at a whole new level. So a lot of, and these are just some of the use cases that I've labeled here, but the important thing to think about is video, and video consumption will really be escalated to the next level with 5G. And then what this ultra gigabyte connectivity enables us to do is to look at other technologies and build and take them to the next level, like augmented reality. There's an interesting application that I heard recently on AR. It's like the cities and towns are using AR apps to, think of an app that you can hold and it will show you all of the infrastructure that's underground, the water infrastructure, the pipe infrastructure. So now it's a nightmare for them to detect problems if there is some problem in the pipelines. But again, with 5G, building these kind of augmented reality apps where you take an app and you are, and it shows you everything that's happening underground. Or you point an app to your car and you are able to look at the insides of an engine, and fault detection becomes much easier that way. So those are and so much more that you can do. But augmented reality, we've seen some version of it, but that's going to go leaps and bounds with 5G and further proliferation of this gigabyte technologies. And then it's not just AR, it's VR as well. VR is more experiential and limited to gaming now, but it is, when you hear marketers speak, they talk about the experience economy. That's one buzzword that comes up very often. So more and more VR apps. So if you want to shop, you put on your VR headset and then you're in the mall while sitting in your house. You're walking through the stores, you're walking through the aisles, and maybe you're even just picking up things from the aisles and putting it in your cart. And it's a whole three-dimensional experience. And that's going to happen. And those kind of applications will come more and more to the forefront, and will completely change the way we experience and the way we do even normal activities, and all of that will start with 5G and beyond. And then, of course, drones. Drones are being used in deliveries and in a lot of I think, overhead photography for media companies use it, news companies are using it for aerial photography. So a lot of application for drones that will only go beyond what it's now, again, with 5G and increased network bandwidth. So again, what I wanted to draw your attention to also was this challenge that I think about, that all devices in your homes, a cooking gas, a fridge, a thermometer, and all of this technology is being developed right now, but all of them can now have an IP address. And you can build applications such that you can collect all of this data and build, you send them to the cloud and then build applications that can be used if your gas is running out, or if there's a leak and there needs to be some sort of a warning notification sent, or it can monitor usage. So that's the next thing to think about. How do we connect every device, every object of everyday use with an IP address, and then send that information to the cloud, and then build applications on it to help with our day-to-day stuff. Make them easily accessible, report on them, give some inferences, and make that data searchable. I think that would be a huge. So here you're bringing IoT, you're bringing 5G, and then even some augmented reality features on such applications. So that's trend number 4 that I wanted to discuss with you, and talk about this ultra gigabyte connectivity and all of the technologies that can come together and give a whole new experience to humanity.